What is up, everybody? It's your boy Corn. Make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe, all that good stuff. This video ain't gonna be long. I came across this video just now, and we have to talk about this. Like I got out of my bed, had to make a video about this because this is. I normally don't rejoice in people's failures, but when you go out of your way to deliberately crap on the fans, I'm early in the video, so I can't say the word I want to say, but to crap on the fans, then yes, I am going to rejoice in your failure because you had a layup, James Gunn. You had a layup with starting out the DCU. You had a layup with not really lying to us about the Flash, but you decided to lie to us about the Flash and saying it's the greatest superhero movie I've ever seen and blah, blah, blah. And then y'all had Tom Cruise. I've mentioned that a million times. I liked Peacemaker Season 1. Hell, I'll even go as far as saying I loved Peacemaker Season 1, except for I still had the gripes. They still had their isms and their, they had to put racism in there and all that other stuff. But overall, Peacemaker Season 1, I still really enjoyed that show. Then you got to Season 2. So now we're at strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. You're already out. And then now Peacemaker, that's another strike. And now you're starting to flabber your little lips about the Batman. Let me tell you something. Stay far away, far away, James Gunn, from Batman, please. You brought up Brave and the Bold. That already turned us off. Now you got the writer from Birds of Prey and The Flash. Two horrible ass movies writing the Batman. How are we supposed to get excited with that? Now, with that being said, am I a fan of I said WWE, but of WB? Am I a fan of WB being bought out by Netflix? No, absolutely not. Netflix is 10 times worse than WB. Let's be clear. But we also have to remember that all these actors, like Christopher, he's not an actor, but all these actors and people in the industry that have been crying for so long about stuff that is unimportant to the industry. Meanwhile, they're signed to SAG, which anytime SAG says, hey, we want to do a strike, guess what? You can't work. Your shows and your movies that you worked on, guess what? No writers can be on there. No writing rooms. All that shit. So, look, man, it's like a double-edged sword at this point. But, look, am I a fan of Netflix getting WB? No. This should not be happening at all. I'd much rather, even though Paramount has their issues, I'd much rather have Paramount buy Warner Brothers. But guess what? We're in a position that we're in, so it is what it is. But with James Gunn, after all of this, pissing off the fans, the real fans, screwing up layup after layup after layup, you got Supergirl coming out when we should be getting Wonder Woman. But that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother issue I talked about in my Supergirl trailer reaction. So go back and watch that. But let's go ahead and get to this video because you guys are really going to see. And like the dude, I got to give him his credit. The guy that I retweeted this from, he said, look, Netflix's CEO is telling y'all, or his leader, whoever this guy is telling y'all under oath that Superman was a box office failure. So let's go ahead and get into this. Hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
And will this be a fully exclusive 45-day theatrical window?
Fully exclusive to theaters, yes.
And will this be self-enforced? In other words, if you fall short of that?
That is the industry. It is the industry standard for self-enforcement. However, routinely, movies that underperform, the window moves a little bit. And Superman was a little shorter window, and Sinners was a little longer window, but they still could.
So let's go back. Let's go back real quick, because he said something that you guys really need to pay attention to, because I saw some people in the comments, they were like, you guys are overreading it. He didn't say that, blah, blah. Let's go back and hear what he said before he started talking about the window and why he's talking about the theatrical window, which, by the way, is bullshit. I hate the 45-day theatrical window. Now, some movies do deserve it because they're not making any money. They're not good. Half the movies, whatever. We can have a whole discussion about that. That's a whole rabbit hole. But nonetheless, I do think that every movie should get at least a 90-day window. Like, what are we doing with 45-day windows? But whatever. Let's hear this.
If you fall short of that.
That is the industry. It is the industry standard for self-enforcement. However, routinely, movies that underperform.
Routinely, movies that underperform. And he's about to give you an example of a movie that underperforms versus a movie that did perform. Or as Sinners did, exceeded expectations in the box office.
The window moves a little bit, and Superman was a little shorter window, and Sinners was a little longer window, but they still could refer to it as a 45-day window.
I'm right! I'm right! I'm in the right!
And so I
Fam. James Gunn. Believe it or not, James Gunn just got cooked, because remember, all the people, and again, you can like Superman, you can enjoy Superman, you can whatever. Like I said, I had at least like a fun like time while watching the movie, while it's still acknowledging it was a bad movie, and still acknowledging that I'll probably never watch that movie again. And I still feel that way now in February. I was about to say January. So this right here is telling you, under oath, like old dude said, yeah, fam, this shit underperformed. And then you compare it to Sinners, where it overperformed. Now that movie is overrated,
because
but it overperformed in the box office. So credit where credit's due. Shout out to James Gunn. I know all the James Gunn shills are freaking out. Oh my God, they didn't say that. He didn't say that. No, please. You're already seeing it in the comments and the quote tweets. So anyways, man, I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention, man. Again, WB is cooked, but the whole industry is cooked. Again, Cry Wolf from Christopher Nolan, like he's probably the wrong person to be talking about that with all the scrutiny he's under right now with the casting of Odyssey. I don't know if you guys seen that. It's absolutely horrible. I might even do a video about that. Who knows, man? But anyways, hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to bed.
Hey, you're just mad because I'll be able to do something with my fucking guitar in hands that you'll never be able to achieve in your entire life, kid. So yeah, you're gay.